Franchise Sports Media!
What's going on, fight fans? Thank you guys for tuning in to another edition of the main event right here on Franchise Sports Media. Happy New Year, everybody. We are back for 2025, and it's going to be an amazing one. I promise you, as the year goes on, there's going to be a lot of things added to the show. Please stay tuned. Boy, oh boy, we starting off with a good one right now. We already had a fight night that I'm going to recap in a little bit, but this weekend, going down in Inglewood, always up to no good. Shout out and prayers to everybody in Southern California right now, dealing with the fires, to the fire department, trying to put it out, to all the volunteers, trying to help people. It's very unfortunate what's going on. Hopefully everything goes well. But nonetheless, as of now, as far as everything we've been told, the show must go on. UFC 311 will be going down, and it is going to be a banger. We got two title fights on the line. We got a potential number one contenders fight on the line. We got some good brawls going on here, so let's dive into it. In the main event, see what I did there? The main event? Talking about the main event? Yeah, gotcha. We got Arman Tsarukyan taking on Islam Makhachev. Oh boy. Now these two fought each other at UFC Fight Night back in 2019. Islam was able to get the victory, but since then, Arman has improved his game, has gotten better. He is the number one contender for a reason. It is going to be an interesting matchup of these two because they've already faced each other once. For someone like Islam Makhachev, you think, oh, nah. He's done that with everybody else. But when he stepped in there with me, it's going to be different. And then you step in there and you realize, oh, this is why he's so good. He's strong. He's a little bit faster. His stand-up is better. And good Lord, this dude's cardio is off the chain. So, but Arman already having that experience of being in there with Islam, it will be, I'm curious to see what adjustments he makes and what holes maybe he has seen in Islam game. Isn't really a whole lot there. Like him or love him. Excuse me. Love him or hate him, Islam is one of those guys you just say, okay, outside of a Superman punch he just doesn't see coming, or outside of me just clipping him in an entanglement, how do I get this dude? You want to go to grappling? No, he's really good at that. He's going to put me on my back. You want to stand up with him? He's getting a lot better at that. And oh yeah, if you want to do a marathon and let's do this for 3 hours, he won't even break a sweat. So it's one of those you say, all right, Islam, you're extremely talented. You're very good. You are going and looking to surpass your mentor, your coach, Merab Dvalishvilli, by defending your title for a fourth time. You're looking to go out there and say, hey, I should be either in the conversation for UFC lightweight GOAT, or maybe I'm already the UFC lightweight GOAT with a victory here. We shall see. For Arman, it's like, okay, strong as well. Good grappling blades, good wrestling. I've gotten a lot better in my stand-up, more confident with my striking, and I feel like, okay, I'm able to go and stand toe-to-toe with you or go wherever the fight wants to go. But here's the thing. You're taking on someone like Islam coming from Habib's camp. You can't let him be the one applying the pressure. But then again, if I apply too much pressure, he just dips down, gets me with a single leg or a double leg, takes me on the ground, and now I'm in hell all over again. But for Arman, if I'm in his corner, I'm telling him you have to make Islam be the one to back up. You cannot let him assert his dominance or apply his game plan first. You have to be the one to strike first. You're taking on a champion here. You're taking on someone who is extremely confident with each and every round, every fight that he's had. So you can't go in there and allow him to establish confidence, to set the groundwork and to find his footing. You got to be the one to have him thinking, countering, moving around, have him thinking, okay, defense. Don't oversert yourself. Don't overdo it, but keep him backing up. Apply pressure, back up when you need to. If you get into the grappling department, excuse me, sorry. New year, the weather, we're getting better, guys, but I promise everything is good. With someone like Islam, because he's so strong and because he's so diverse in the grappling department and his jiu-jitsu is off the charts, it's one of those where you say, if I can't apply a dominant position, if I'm Tsarukyan, if I can't apply a dominant position right away, back up. Disengage, let it be. Live to fight another round. Because otherwise, he's going to find a way to switch positions on me. If I'm arming, I got Islam against the cage, but I'm trying to get a takedown, but he's not letting me get it. He's defending the hands. He's got his legs spread. He's pushing my head down. He's moving me away. He's going to reverse it on me. Now I'm the one up against the fence. Now I'm the one playing defense. No. If you cannot get it right away, disengage. Unless it's like the last 10 seconds, and you hear that going from the round, disengage, let it go, let it fight the next round. Islam has made a career out of dominating fighters, no matter how good they are. Dustin Poirier, X, Y, and Z as an example, and coming forward, pushing you back, making you realize, hey, you're in the deep waters now, buddy. Dun, 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 dun. I'm coming after you. What are you gonna do? Nothing you can do. For Arman, he has to be able to switch roles here. He has to be able to play the alpha, to play the omega. He has to be the one pushing Islam against the fence, making him back up. I would love to see how Islam fights retreating. When Tyson Fury fought Deontay Wilder the first time, they were going back and forth. Tyson was winning, but then he gets almost knocked out, almost into a whole nother round. He gets up in the last round, the 12th round, and he's the aggressor because he just got knocked down, almost knocked out. He's the aggressor, and he realized, and he said this going into his next two fights, Wilder can't fight backing up. And we saw in the next two rematches of Fury and Wilder was the one backing up, and that's when he saw the most trouble. That's when Fury was able to establish his dominance. Wilder, the bigger puncher, Fury not so much. They switch roles. Look at the results. Fury, winner, chicken dinner. This is what I feel Tsarukyan needs to do to Islam. He needs to push him back and have him be the one retreating and reacting to his aggression and his offense, as opposed to Arman trying to lay in wait, find a hole, counter. No. We've seen that played out before. Not going to work. Come forward at your boy, and let's see what happens. And what's funny is Charles Oliveira, who fought Islam, was unsuccessful. When he fought Islam, he tried coming forward. Two things, though. While we love Charles Oliveira on this show, Charles does leave himself open to get countered. Two, when it comes to the wrestling, Charles, who's an ace in jiu-jitsu, leads the UFC in most submissions. It's very easy to take down because he wants to go to the ground game. The problem is you get someone as strong and as skilled in wrestling as Islam on top of you, that's a whole nother ball game than having a striker be on top of you and you're the jiu-jitsu ace. So if you're Arman, don't sit there and try to counter or look for an opening for Islam. It's not going to come. It's just not. These guys that Khabib trains and puts out there into the cage, I'm not going to say they're perfect, but good gosh, they're the closest things to it. And they don't make a lot of mistakes. So you can't sit there hoping and waiting that it's going to open. You have to be the one to go out there and put the pressure on. Pressure makes diamonds. Can you go out there and put this guy in a position where, hey, I'm going to apply enough pressure, but not so much that a diamond is going to be created and you're going to make a comeback. No. I'm going to just keep going out there, beating you over the head, leg kicking you, applying you with some takedowns. Hey, it'll be awesome if Tsarukyan could get a takedown or two to show, hey, you're not the only one who could take somebody down in this particular matchup here, so that's something to watch out for. It'll be a lot of fun in the lightweight division to see how things pan out after this one. Islam, if he wins, does he move on and try his luck at welterweight? There was thoughts of him taking on Leon Edwards at the time to become champ status. That would have been a terrific matchup. With his dominance here, you say, okay, to keep me interested and engaged, who else is left for me in lightweight to go ahead and compete against? Not really a whole plethora of names, but if I move up to welterweight, that's a whole new division, new crop of talent, and I can take on the champion and go straight for the title. It'll be interesting to see how things pan out there. If Tsarukyan wins, clearly there's a rematch involved, a trilogy, but then he's the new guy at the top. He gets to take on a plethora of new challengers there who get a second or third crack at the gold. So the UFC lightweight division, always historically the most competitive division, especially within that top 10, top 15 realm. All those guys are very deserving of not only a title shot, but potentially being a champion someday if they can overcome it. So the main event, going to be a lot of fun. The co-main event, in the bantamweight division, we got the cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, Umar Nurmagomedov. Not Omar from The Wire. Not Omar's coming. Just as scary though. Umar's coming. And he's coming for Merab's title. Merab goes out there, upsets, takes the crown away from Sugar Sean O'Malley. Now he's the champion. The one fighter that folks were whispering about before that fight in September between Merab and O'Malley was Umar Nurmagomedov. Hey, whoever wins this bout, that's who they got to face next. That's the boogeyman in this division. Well, now Merab says, bring it on. Let's see what happens here. Merab and Umar, this is an interesting matchup because almost similar to the main event, right? You have in Umar, strong wrestling, strong physically, to where now his striking, while getting better at his stand-up game, because he's so strong, the strikes he does hit you with, they hurt just a little bit more because this dude is uber strong. Umar is uber strong. You get it? Okay. But he's got the conditioning. He's got the cardio. He can take it down. He can dominate you on the ground, or he can stand up with you and just punish you. But Merab has shown, hey, I'm very good at grappling too. I could take guys down at will, as Sugar Sean O'Malley. I can move around and strike. I believe Merab has been, despite being a champion, he's been thrown on the bus a little bit here. People have kind of, you look around online, you listen to different shows. A lot of people feel like Umar's just that good and just that much better, and not giving Merab a lot of chances here. It is tough because just like Islam, Umar coming from the Khabib camp, like I said, these guys are not perfect, but they're damn near the closest you can be to it. It is hard to see someone going in there and beating one of their fighters, especially flat out. There's always upsets to be had. You can get hit with a knee, ankle lock, arm bar, quick rear naked choke, flash knockdown, X, Y, and Z. A lot of things can happen. But if you were just to break it down, like Islam, what is Umar's weaknesses here? You're not going to be able to out cardio him. You're not going to be able to out grapple him. He's getting better and better at striking. And again, like I said, he's so strong that even if he just does the regular jab, 1-2, 1-2 hook counter, those are going to be some stinging shots there because the dude is strong. It hurts. So if you're Merab, where the hell do I go with this? Now, I got guys like Aljamain Sterling in my camp. Matt Serra is one of my coaches. I got a plethora of talented guys helping me train. Great coaching staff getting me ready for this. Where exactly is this? I feel it's the same thing. Merab cannot be the one circling and countering. He's got to be the one to come forward and to make Umar Nurmagomedov be the one backing up. He's got to make him be the one thinking. He's got to be the one to push forward and say, you know what? I'll take on the big fight, and I'll bring the fight to you. I'm going to stand 10 toes down, stand on business. Let's go, baby. And I'm going to be the one applying pressure. I'm going to be the one coming forward with leg kicks right away, throw some head kicks in there. I'm going to mix in the striking, possibly go for a takedown. But the key is with that, these guys are so good. These Dagestan fighters are so good with wrestling. That's their nature. That's their homeland sport right there is wrestling. You can't just go straight in for a takedown. You got to be able to mix it up. Bam, 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 going up high with some 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, dip low and get him. 1-2, 1-2, head kick, dip low, get him. Head kick, 1-2, 1-2, get down and go for a takedown. But again, if you cannot get it right away and you cannot get him in a good enough position to take him down, or time is not going out of the round, disengage, move on to the next round. Because one thing, again, that these guys are going to be able to do is switch positions, apply their strength. And we've seen at times at different levels, different weight classes, right? We've seen these fighters from Dagestan get someone down, and it's a simple techniques. Daniel Cormier used to do it. He trained at AKA. Habib, you trained there as well. So we've seen this as well. I'm just going to simply get a good position, clamp them wrists. I'm going to ride you, take you down up against the fence. And when I do, trip up your legs, do that classic maneuver that Habib made famous. Islam does it as well. When your back is against the cage and your butt is on the ground, we're going to use our legs to wrap up your legs in a vine, so now you can't shrimp out of the maneuver. We're going to lean in the middle of your chest, head to the side, grab one wrist. Your other one's going to be invalid because it's my body's there. You got to reach around. Where's your power? This does nothing. It's annoying, but it does nothing. And then I'm going to grab that wrist, move in to kill you, and then guess what? I'm either going to hit you with some strikes, or when you try to roll with it because I'm pulling your arm down and you're trying to roll to the side, now I'm going to get to your back, take your back, and I'm going to apply a rear naked choke or even a vicious neck crank. And with these guys gripping strength, it is not going to be pleasant. Tap, tap, tap. We can hear and still and new via the same technique and submission. So for Tsarukyan and Merab, they have a tall task in front of them. It's not going to be easy, but when you're at this level in the UFC, no fight ever is. But this is, to me, both of these fighters' toughest opponent in their careers. no matter who they face next. I truly believe for Tsarukyan and Merab, Umar and Islam are their two toughest opponents that they'll ever face in their careers. That's not to say other fighters, even later on, if they beat them or if they're a tough out too, yes. But there's holes you can find in fighters' games. There's things you could point out. Oh, what about this? What about that? With these two, Islam and Umar, no. We also have, in the light heavyweight division, Yuri Prochazka taking on Jamal Hill. Lightweight, we got Beneil Dariush stepping back in. We got middleweight Kevin Holland returning to the cage. It's a plethora of good fights on here. Light heavyweight is interesting. Jamal Hill's been making a lot of noise since he lost at UFC 300 to Alex Pereira. It'll be interesting to see how Jamal comes with this. You know, there's that video of him coming out at the UFC center where him and Alex ran into each other, and Alex was like, hey, put the gloves on. Let's go. You talking all this stuff, saying you're better than me and you should have won and I got lucky again. Put the gloves on. Let's find out now. Jamal's like, hey, man, I don't fight for free. And shout out to him. I get that. I'm not fighting for free. And everyone's like, oh, you're scared, brother. You're not a warrior. You had Jan Blachowicz, Yuri, all these guys coming in on him. Hey, I get paid for this. I'm not doing this on a limb, especially if you haven't tried to attack me. I came over to just share some words. Now, you want to sit here and say, no, let's get down to business. Respect, but I get paid for this. So I'm not doing this for free. You don't get to just go out and see Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Jefferson, or any of these top wide receivers and say, hey, let's go. I'm going to guard you right now. Let's go. You can't do any of that. You can't go out and see Floyd Mayweather or Canelo Alvarez or Terrence Crawford. Hey, those are two names. Talk about in a second. And just say, hey, let's do a quick shadow boxing, quick slap boxing match. Hell no. This is my career. This is my job. Well, now Jamal Hill gets to go in against Yuri Prochazka and show everybody, hey, I am legit one of the top guys at 205. I do deserve another crack at Alice because he caught me. Let's run it back. Yeah, I got to get to Yuri first thing. Yuri, oh man. Yuri Prochazka is the type of fighter, he sits in a dark room looking at a blank wall and gets himself motivated that way. It is phenomenal. The warrior spirit in this guy, he brings it each and every time. Win, lose, or draw. He goes out and lays it on the line, a fan favorite. Fun to watch. It is going to be interesting to see how the former champion looks and does out there. Both of these guys suffered losses last year to Alex Pereira. They're both looking to bounce back, potentially get a rematch against the champion. This is how you start right here with this particular matchup. So very interested to see how that plays out because the winner, more than likely, especially if it's Jamal Hill, moves right up into the number one contender spot at 205 and takes on the champion at a later date. Wrap up some UFC talk very quickly before we move on to some boxing news. As I said, we had UFC Fight Night last week. Mackenzie Dern defeated Amanda Ribos, became the first person to submit her. Third round via submission via armbar. This was a fight night at the Apex Center. Mackenzie Dern, she's one of those fighters where if you just say, how do I promote somebody to be the next champion? Well, they got a good look. They come from a good camp. They are a fan favorite, and they have a good skill set to go out there. She is one of the most dominant Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu aces out there. She is very good, beautiful smile, great personality, easy to sell and market for everyone. Everyone talks about Mackenzie Dern Fight Week. If you know, you know. But she's one of those fighters where sometimes you wonder, is it her buckling under the pressure, or is it her fight camp coming up with a bad game plan? You know, this is the same woman who goes out, puts on this great performance here, but then takes on Jessica Andrade and wants to show off her stand-up game. That's not who you showed off against. Andrade, another example of what I said about Islam and Umar. Because she's incredibly strong, her stand-up is even more effective to where, yeah, I'm not putting together all these highlight reel combinations. I'm not doing anything unorthodoxy. But because I'm so strong, when I hit you with the overhand right, when I hit you with a left, when I hit you with the right cross, it's going to sting a little bit more. We saw she was able to defeat Dern, Andrade, that is, because Mackenzie wanted to stand up with her. That's not who you stand up with, dog. You are the better jiu-jitsu grappler. Get this into a grappling match. Make this into a phone booth. Get it to the mat if you can, because, again, Jessica gets paid to not go into that. But she looked really good there. You got Santino Ponzinibbio. He got a victory as well. He got a victory on Fight Night as well. Very good to see fighters starting to get back into the win column, whether it was injury or just long time off or just stumbled on the recent events. With Mackenzie Dern, she might get the same treatment Tatiana Suarez just got with her fight against Zhang Weili. So good, so impressive. But with Suarez, she kept getting injured. She kept suffering injury. She get a win, injured. Get a win, injured. And it's one of those where you say, we just got to put her in the title shot because we don't know what's going to happen here if she suffers another injury. Well, Mackenzie Dern might be the same thing. Hey, maybe one more fight. But we got to figure out what's a way we can go ahead and get her a title shot. We're not trying to force feed her, but she is one of those talents that's right there. But right when it's supposed to be a number one contender's bout, or, hey, you get this big win on this platform, this is easy to now sell to the fans on you're next in line. Mackenzie's got to do her part, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see how things unfold in that particular realm. UFC and former champion Holly Holm separated, parted ways immediately. Holm will be able to go out and pursue, whether it's signed with another MMA organization or even pursue some boxing matches. She has a background in boxing as a former champion, so it'll be interesting to see what she decides to do. And she can easily go out, have 1-2 fights here and there, and then come on back to the UFC to finish out a career if she chooses to. Either way, thank you, Holly Holm, for all the great memories. One of the biggest upsets of all time, and always being a class character and a terrific warrior and fighter that we all got to enjoy during her career in the octagon. Now, speaking of letting go, we're going to do this again. Tyson Fury retires. And I put that in parentheses because we've seen this before. You could, look, combat sports or just sports athletics, period, is tough on the body, mind, and soul. It's hard on the families. So for you to sit here as an athlete and say, oh, I'm retiring. Oh, we don't believe you. You're just crying wolf. We've been down this before. Yeah, but you never know. You never know what goes on in these athletes' minds or what's going on in their life where they just say, I don't have that fight in me no more. I don't have that fire burning in me. You could say, yeah, this is just a negotiation tactic. So Fury and Joshua finally happened this year. That'd be amazing and great. But Tyson Fury, unsuccessful against Alexander Usyk once again, says, hey, I'm retiring. Now, again, a negotiation tactic to say, hey, I don't need boxing. I don't need to be out here no more. I've made my money. Joshua, what you gonna do? It'll be interesting to see those two go at it finally. That's the one thing that I think we all dislike about boxing. It takes so long for these super fights when you're in the same division. It's one thing if you're in the UFC and you're at welterweight, this guy's at middleweight, he's at heavyweight, you're at light heavyweight, X, Y, and Z. You're in different divisions. You're both heavyweights. Why is it taking so long? You're both from that side, so you don't need to come to Vegas or New York. It would be awesome if they came to Vegas, but you could sell it out there. The King of England, go for it. Who's got it? You two are sitting here holding up, and for what? You both now suffer several losses along the way. You waited too long. When both of you were undefeated champions, that was a moment to strike, but greed ruined what could have been nice. This is why we can't have nice things. Speaking of nice things, possibly very close, as close as we've been so far, Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. Getting chills just thinking about it. It's like when WWE was on Netflix. This is something you never thought we would see, and now it's happening. Well, now we got Canelo, Terrence Crawford in talks. Reports have suggested that they are closer than ever with this negotiation. Nothing settled, but right now, the window looks like we could be looking for September. Does that mean Canelo have somebody in May? Yeah. Go out there, get you another fight, get tuned up, get warmed up, and go out. Now for Terrence Crawford, buddy, you ain't been in the ring in quite a while. You gonna take that long off? Now, granted, you take that long off to put on the weight correctly, like we see Max Holloway do his second time at lightweight, so that when you go up there, hey, I look and feel good. I'm strong. I still got my speed, still got my power, and I'm not going to be overwhelmed because he's the bigger fighter. But if Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez could figure out a way, this is a fight where you say, okay, I can see why it's taking a little bit longer. You're not in the same division. You're not even in the next division above each other. I mean, we've had Canelo Alvarez fight 160, 168, 175. Crawford's 147, 152 if he wanted to have an extra burger. But so I get why it's taking so long because of the weight differences. It's not like these guys are both 147 or 147 and 152 and they're just not coming to an agreement. No. But if these two finally go on, to me, I feel like this will be the biggest fight in boxing in quite a while. And it's the biggest matchup out there right now that we can see on the horizon of this needs to happen. Yeah, we got Garcia and Devin Haney. We got Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. We got Fury and Joshua. We got plenty of good fights out there. Crawford, Canelo. That's the fight to make. This is the one we need to make happen. Hopefully, like they say, it's as close as ever that we can do this, because I really do believe we will see a terrific matchup. I don't think it'll be as big of a mismatch as people would think. And I think Terrence Crawford might shock people by not, one, how good he looks physically, but then also skill-wise. Hey, he's giving Canelo a run for his money. This will be a lot of fun if we can finally get this matchup. Please, I'm gonna do all my, please, I'm even doing my toes right now. I even got my ankles crossed. Please let this happen. We just want good things to happen with us. I'm crossing the arms. I'm doing everything I can. Please let this happen. Boxing Combat Sports Gods. It will be announced right here on the main event on Franchise Sports Media. When it is announced, we'll do the breakdown, previewing and analyzing it as we get closer. But that is the news in that particular realm. That's about it, guys. Like I said, 2025, we got a lot of great things coming up, a lot of big fights, a lot of big venues. That's about it right now as far as the sport news worth getting out there and talking about. You guys be sure to leave a comment, ask any questions, leave a comment, and I'll address it in the next episode. You guys can find me on social media, KLUA11. That is on X and on Instagram. Hit me up on either one. Go to franchisesportsmedia.com. Go to Franchise Sports Media on all social medias accounts. Be sure to like, share, and follow. Guys, we got a lot of great things coming on, and I cannot wait to sit there and bring them to you. But until next time, fight fans, this is the main event on Franchise Sports Media. I'm Klein Lua. Till next time, fight fans, peace.